Hi, this is Doyle and welcome to this lesson. In this lesson, I'm going to show you a blues ending that you can use within your own songs and compositions. The ending will be in the key of C major, and for the purpose of this lesson, we will play and count with a shuffle feel in 4/4 time, otherwise known as common time. So this means that instead of counting with a straight feel, for example, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, we will swing the eighth notes, so we end up with more of a long, short feeling. For example, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, which in turn equals 1 bar or measure. Okay, so we are all on the same page. Let's begin by finding middle C. Step 1. To begin, we're going to look at the stripped down version of the right hand. So what we're going to do is from middle C, we're going to go up 2 octaves. So C an octave above, C an octave above. This C is our starting point for the stripped down ending in the right hand, which sounds like this. So what we're going to do is, starting with C, we're going to add the note G below this C, so this G right here, and we're going to play G and C together. Then from here, we're going to play the note F and the note A, and we're going to play F and A together. So up to that point we have G and C, then F and A. Then from here, we're going to play E flat, and we're going to add the note G above this E flat, so this G right here, and we're going to play E flat and G together. Then from here, while holding down G, we're going to slide up from E flat to E. So up to that point we have G and C, F and A, E flat and G, hold down G, slide up from E flat to E. Then from here, we're going to play C, then we're going to go down to A, then to G. So up to that point we have G and C, F and A, E flat and G, hold down G, slide up from E flat to E, then C, A, G. Then from here we're going to play G flat, so this G flat and E flat above it, and we're going to play G flat and E flat together. Then from here we're going to play the note C in between on its own. Then from here we're going to play F, so this F, and D, so this D here, and we're going to play F and D together. Then from here we're going to play E and C above it, and we're going to play E and C together. So all together the notes are G and C, F and A, E flat and G, hold down the G, slide up from E flat to E, go down to C, down to A, down to G, then G flat, E flat, C on its own, F and D, then E and C. So one more time, G and C, F and A, E flat and G, hold down G, slide up to E from E flat, C, A, G, G flat and E flat, F and D, and E and C. And don't forget to play C in between. After the G flat and E flat, play C, and then F and D, E and C. To help us with the fingering, we're going to number the fingers on both hands. So the thumb is finger 1, the index finger is finger 2, the middle finger is finger 3, the ring finger is finger 4, and the little finger is finger 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice that this creates a mirror image in both hands, so it's important to know which hands we're talking about when we're discussing fingering. So the fingering for the ending in the right hand is finger 2 on G, finger 5 on C, so 2 on 5, Then for F and A, I'm using finger 3 and 5. Then for E flat and G, I'm going to use fingers 2 and 4. Then I'm going to slide up from E flat to E with finger 2. I'm going to play C with finger 1. Then it's up to you whether you want to cross over or cross down over the thumb to A with either finger 2 or finger 3. I like to use finger 2, but entirely up to you. So finger 2 and 5, 3 and 5, 2 and 4, slide up from E flat with finger 2, finger 1 on C, then cross over with either finger 3 or 2 to the note A, then play G with finger 1, then G flat and E flat, I'm using finger 1 and 5, then I'm playing C with finger 3, then I'm playing F and D with fingers 1 and 5, then E and C with fingers 1 and 5. So again, the fingering is 2 and 5, 3 and 5, 2 and 4, slide up with 2, finger 1, then finger 2 or 3 for the A, finger 1 for G, then fingers 1 and 5, finger 3 for C, fingers 1 and 5 for F and D, and 1 and 5 for E and C. So the two different ways you can finger this: 2 and 5, 3 and 5, 2 and 4, slide up with 2, 1, 3, 1, 1 and 5, 3, 1 and 5, 1 and 5, or 2 and 5, 3 and 5, 2 and 4, slide up with 2, finger 1, finger 2, finger 1, 1 and 5, finger 3, 1 and 5, 1 and 5. To count to the ending in the right hand with a shuffle feel and 4/4 time, as eighth notes you would count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and again 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and one more time, a little faster. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now what we're going to do, we're going to look at a few things we can add to the right hand ending to make it a little more interesting. And to start with, we're going to add a grace note. So when we play G and C, we're going to slide up from G flat into the G. So we get this sound. So then when we get to E flat and G, we're going to play E flat and G. Then this time, when we slide up from E flat, we're going to play E, but we're going to lift up from G. So we get. Then straight away, we're going to repeat the note G. Then we're going to repeat the note E. So we get this sound. So from E flat and G, slide up to E from E flat and lift off G, then play G again, play E again, and then we carry on with the riff when we play C. And to count to this, you would count 1 and 2 and 3 and. So you want to be on C, on the and. So 1 and 2. So the and of B2, so 2, 1 and 2, and 3, and. So you could practice this as counting 2 and 3, and 2 and 3, and. One more more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and then you can just carry on, and 4 and so on. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So the fingers I'm using when I play the E flat and G, I'm simply sliding up from the E flat to the E with the same finger, repeating G with finger 4, repeating E with finger 2. So again, one last time, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And you can also hold down E and C for the remainder of the second bar. So this right hand ending is 2 bars long. Bar 1, bar 2, again, bar 1, I'll do that again, bar 1, bar 2. Step 3. Now what we're going to do is we're going to look at the optional left hand. So you don't actually need to use the left hand with this ending. You can simply just play it with the right hand and that's it. So you could just go. To use the left hand, what we're going to do is we're going to go 2 octaves below middle C, so middle C, 1 octave, 2 octaves. And we're going to start, we're going to play C, then we're going to play D, then we're going to play G, then we're going to play C. So again, the notes in the left hand for the optional left hand are C, D, G, C. The fingers I'm using in the left hand, I'm using finger 5 to play C, finger 4 to play D, finger 1 to play G, then finger 5 to play C. So the fingering for the left hand is 5, 4, 1, 5. To count to the left hand as 8 notes with a shuffle feel over the 2 bars, you would count it 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And with the right hand it would sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and, I'll do it again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So to match up both hands, you would play the first C in the left hand with G and C in the right hand. Then you would play the D with G flat and E flat in the right hand. Play the C on its own. Then you would play the G in the left hand with F and D in the right hand. Then you would play the low C in the left hand with E and C in the right hand. So it sounds like this. And in context, bar 1, bar 2. Again, bar 1, bar 2. Step 4. Now what we're going to do is we're going to quickly look at a few different variations with this ending. So the first thing that you can do is instead of playing the G and C on beat 1 of bar 1, you can simply play the low C in the left hand on its own for beat 1, so 1, and then on the end of beat 1, play G and C. So instead of 1 and 2, you get 1 and 2. Again, 1 and 2. So in context, it would sound like this. The first time round, when we play it on beat 1, would sound like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. the variation would sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. One more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The other variation is very simple. Instead of just holding down E and C for the remainder of the second bar, you can play, let's take the second variation. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. On the end of beat 2, play E, C with C in the left hand. So 2 and then when you get to beat 4, you could simply play B flat, B and C very quickly to C on beat 4. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Again, 1 and 2 and so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And you can also, if you want to, with that, you could play a low C again, so you could get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So what I like to do, what I prefer to do, is if I'm playing G and C in the right hand on beat 1 of the first bar, I like to play the bass line, and then I like to hold down D and C at the end, so I get this. If I'm going to add the G and C on the end of beat 1, I like to leave out this bass line and simply play a C on beat 1, and then a C again when I go up from B flat, B to C. And the fingers I'm using to play this, I'm simply using finger 2, 3 and 4. And you can use whichever fingers you want to use for this. So the first variation I like to use is this. And the second variation I like to use is this. One more time. Step 5. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to look at how we can use this blues ending within, say, a 12-bar blues. So the ending itself, regardless of the variation, is 2 bars long. So bar 1, bar 2. Second variation, bar 1, bar 2. So because it's 2 bars long, if you were playing, for example, a 12-bar blues, you would want to start the ending on beat 1 of bar 11. So for example, if we're playing in the key of C and we're on bar 9, which would be G, then bar 10 would be F. You would then start the ending again on beat 1 of bar 11, bar 11, bar 12. So again, bar 9, so I'll do that one more time, bar 9, bar 10, bar 11, bar 12. So as a rule, you would want to start whichever type of blues you're playing, whether it's 8-bar blues, 12-bar blues, it doesn't really matter. As long as you start the ending 2 bars before you would usually end, that's where you would want to play the blues ending.